Are you somebody who's interested in becoming debt-free, but you just don't know where to start? Like, you don't know what steps to take, or even if you do, you need a tracker of some sort to help you to stay organized? Well, this is the video for you. Hello, you guys. It's Celisa coming to you from Beautifully Me and You, de Beautifullymeandyou. And today we're going to talk everything debt snowball in order to help you to become debt-free. If that sounds like something that interests you, then let's get into it. There truly is a way to make it easy on yourself to stay organized and to get your bills paid off even faster. But what I do want to show you and explain to you first is all about the debt snowball method. The first step you want to do in the debt snowball is to make a list of all the debts that you have, okay? You can include your mortgage into this, or you can just leave that out until the end and then start tackling your mortgage finally at the last, since that will probably be your biggest debt. You also can include or exclude your car, because remember, your car payment is probably going to be a larger bill. But in this instance that I'll be showing you guys, there's not much left on a car payment, so we will be including it. You'll get a list of all the basic bills that you have, all the credit card debts, any creditors that you owe, and write down all of the due dates as well as the balance that's owed and the minimum payment that's required. You're going to need that information once we decide to add it all into the tracker. So once you have a list of all your debts, I'll show you what we'll use, a simple tool in order to pay off, and I'll explain how the debt snowball method works even more. This is a completed easy debt snowball tracker, okay? It does have instructions here that says, to begin, list debts from smallest, which is number 1, to largest, number 6, and fill in the minimum payment amounts. Managing your funds appropriately, calculate how much leftover money you have to be applied towards the snowball. Always apply extra money to the smallest debt first, until paid off. Once debt number 1 is paid off, add that minimum payment from debt number 1 to debt number 2. In addition, continue to pay any extra money to debt number 2 and watch how fast your snowball grows. So that's the premise of a snowball, is that you're adding a little bit at a time and your ball gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you can tackle those big debts with large payments. Let's go ahead and break down how I actually filled in this whole tracker using the debts that I have, and we'll kind of give an example. Good to note that this tracker will be available for free down in my description box for the next 3 days from the posting of this video. After that, you can head to my description bar if you're seeing this video later and actually check out my Etsy shop, where you can either do a digital download or request a physical product. The Easy Debt Snowball Tracker can help you to track up to 12 debts at a time. There are 1 through 6 on this side, and the other side is 6 through 12. If you order it in my Etsy store, it will come laminated like this so that you can write on it with a Sharpie and wipe it off as you get to the end of the months that are listed, okay? And I'm gonna be using a Sharpie ultra fine point pen today in order to do this tracker. So let's go ahead and get started, and you can see how the debt snowball will work. So the first thing you would do is you need to have a monthly budget, okay? So if you need any examples of how to create a monthly budget, I'll put one up above right here on how to get started with the cash budgeting system and how you would create a monthly budget. If for whatever reason you don't want to use that method, which is cash budgeting method, you don't have to. You just basically need to know how much additional cash you're planning on having in the month so that you can easily fill out this tracker. First and foremost, you definitely want to fill in all the debt. So in this example, these are all the creditors, the due dates, and all of the bill amounts, the balances, as well as the minimum payments. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the tracker. I would start with the lowest balance first. So the lowest balance in this example would be the first Amex. So that will be debt number 1, and we will put Amex here. The due date for Amex is the 3rd. If you wanted to add the interest rate, you could. The reason why I laminate this copy is because when you write with the Sharpie, it does stay on and it doesn't smear off. So that's a good point to have. If you want it to come off, you would just use alcohol, okay? And hand sanitizer works well as well. Everybody has hand sanitizer, right? Okay. You also can write down the interest rate if you want, and you can also pay your debts off in accordance with interest rate. However, that's called a debt avalanche, and I feel like it doesn't give as much gratification as seeing some of the smaller bills get paid off and your snowball grows. So if you're asking my opinion, I say the snowball, I think, works a little better. What we also want to take note of is the minimum payment that's required, and I'm going to write that down in this box, as well as the balance that's owed, which is $148.29. So that's all the information we'll need for the first debt. Let's go ahead and move on and see what the second debt, so it looks like that would be Chase. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write down again the due date, which is the 18th. I'm not worried about the interest rate, but I am going to put the minimum payment of $35, and I'm also going to put the balance of $312.63. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and fast forward while I fill in all the other creditors. I'll be right back. Let me just get all this filled out. All right, now that I have it all filled out with all the creditors, as well as the due dates, the monthly payments, and the balance that's required, or the payoff balance, then I'm going to go ahead and add up all the monthly payments. That's the next step, and that will go up here in the total of minimum payments. This is the minimum snowball amount that you will need. So let's add up all the monthly payments. 25 plus 35 plus 40 plus 97 plus 245 plus 130. So in this instance, it's $572. The $572 will be listed right here under minimum snowball amount. So now we know that $572 is what we have to budget for every single month. In order just to take care of our minimum payments, we need at least $572 a month. It's good to note that whenever you're doing your budget, you would put this line item under expenses for $572 when you're creating a monthly budget to make sure you have enough for the month. And if you need some help with just an easy budget planner, I do sell quite a bit of easy budget planners. I'll put a link up here in a comparison video of all the planners that I offer. They're not super expensive. They're super affordable, and they're just a means to help you to stay on track of your budget, okay, in the easiest way possible. So check out that video if you're interested in a planner. And if so, they're all sold on Amazon. You can click the link down below of my Amazon storefront to purchase, okay? But once you have your monthly amount, and now you've, let's say, put that into your monthly bills, and you decided that after you cash stuffed your envelopes, did all your sinking funds, paid your monthly snowball payment amount, as well as all your other utility bills, and maybe gave some away for giving, you still have an extra $300 that you want to apply towards debt. And let's say for the month of November, you decided not only are you going to pay this, but also an extra $300. Well, I wrote a little box right here so you can keep track of what you're paying. So you would put for the month of November, you're paying $872. That's going to be your minimum payment plus $300. Okay. So that's the amount that we're going to work on dispersing amongst these debt snowball payments. Now let's talk about how you would start. Again, you're going to start by paying the minimum from the highest debt first, okay? So let's say on November 28th, because that's the due date, you're gonna plan to pay your home equity line of credit $130. And once you pay it, you will actually mark that you paid it, but we're gonna do a simulation like we already paid it. And so the ending balance then would be the $13,245.16 minus $130. So that will be $11,15.16. Okay, so that payment has been taken care of, and now we're going to do it again for our minimum monthly payment for Ally. The date is the 21st, so on 11/21 we're going to pay $245, and let's say $245 was paid, and so the balance for Ally then would be $37.42.10 minus $245, so that'll be $34.97.10. All right, we're going to continue to do that for our care credit because remember, we have enough for all these minimum payments in our minimum monthly snowball. So we're going to do that for care credit as well. And that is going to be paid on the 9th. And the care credit bill is $97, the minimum payment, and we're going to pay $97. So that means we have $1433.17 minus $97. So that would be $1336.17. Now remember, with these minimum payments, you can pay them on the due dates, and you would then go back onto your debt tracker and write what date how much you actually paid on this debt, okay? For Bank of America, the payment is $40, $11.14. The minimum payment's $40. We're gonna pay $40. And so for that bill, it'll be $713.42 minus 40. So that will be $673.42. Okay, so now that we have all of those paid, let's add up and see how much we still have left out of our $872. We would have paid the $130. We would have paid the $245, $97, $40, and so we have $360 left, which makes sense. We have the minimum payment from this, the minimum payment from this, which is $60 plus an additional $300, right? So we definitely want to pay off this one. We have enough that we can pay off that and still meet the minimum payment. So we're going to make a payment on the 3rd, 11/3. The minimum payment was $25 and we're going to pay $148.29. And that's going to leave a balance of 0, and that debt is actually complete. Okay? But when we take the $148.29 from $360, we're left with $211.71. So on this payment for Chase, we're going to pay $211.71. So $11.18, we're going to have a $35 minimum payment, but we're going to pay $211.71. And so our balance is going to be left $312.63 minus $211.71. $100.92. All right. So that's the first month. So now we have a whole game plan of what we need to do. We would pay on this first bill $148.29 and go ahead and pay it off with our extra $300. We would pay the extra amount of the $300 towards this bill. Then we would pay all of Bank of America minimum payment, Care Credit minimum, Ally minimum, and my home equity line of credit minimum. Okay, so that's what we do for the first month. So let's say for the month of December, you don't really have that much extra. Okay, so let's say you only have $40 extra. So instead of having $572, you have an extra $40 also you can throw at the debt, and that's a total of $612. So then for December, we would put $612 here is what we're going to be paying towards debt. Well, we already know we need to do out of $612, we need to make a payment on the 28th for $130 for HELOC. And I'll calculate the ending balances next. So from that $612, we take $130. Okay, that's $482 left. On the 21st, we need to pay $245 for this Ally car payment. So we're going to take out $245. From Care Credit on the 9th, we need to pay $97. We're going to take out $97. Okay, we need to pay $40 from B of A. We'll take out $40. And now we have, not only do we have the $25 from the Amex from our total, because we're never going to adjust this total, right? So we have the $25 from here. We have the $35 from here. And then we also have, which is $60, and then we also have the extra $40 that we have for the month. So that's a total of $100, which is exactly what our calculator says. So we now have $100 to pay on this one. So $11.18, we have a $35 minimum payment, but we'll be paying $100. And so that means this balance will only have 92 cents. Well, we might as well go ahead and find another dollar, right? So let's see if on $11.18 we can come up with another dollar just to pay this one off. And so that would be, let's just say $1. So we paid $1, and now this balance is at a 0. That's done. Now debt number 2 is done. Okay, so now we're only down to debt number 3, and we would continue the same thing. Let's say for the month of January, we now have an extra $100 we're going to put on our debt. So we have $672. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with our $672. And actually, before I move on to the next month, let me go ahead and calculate what these balances would be. So 13,115.16 minus 130. You're always going to take this balance that you had from before and subtract out the new payment that you made. And right now, I wouldn't worry about interest, but as you make your payment, like if you're making the last payment for Chase, then you should contact Chase and see what the last payment is. It might be a little more interest in there since it's been a couple of months since you updated this tracker, and that's fine. Just go ahead and make the extra payment for that, but it will give you an idea of where you're at. So for the month of January for B of A, we know all the extra is going to be thrown at this next debt. Okay, and that's how the snowball grows. Not only are you using the minimum payments from the Amex, because you're still using that money to work towards the debt snowball, you're also using the minimum payment from Chase. So that's already an extra $60 we'll be paying on B of A, even if we had nothing extra. But because we also have 100, an extra 25, 35 plus 100, so an extra $160 should be able to go towards this debt. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do January. Oh, I put the wrong date for the other one, but let's say January 28th. We'll do 130, 130. And then January 21st, we'll do 245, 245. And then on the 9th, we'll do 97 and 97. Okay, so now we're down to this one. Let's see, if we had $672 total to work with, and we take 130 away, take away 245, take away 97, 672 minus 130 minus 245 minus 97, right? We're at exactly $200 left, which is the $25 from debt 1, the $35 from debt 2, that's 60, plus the regular 40 minimum payment we would make. That's already a $100 payment going to B of A, but we had an extra 100 for the month to put towards debt, so that's going to be a total of $200. So we'll do 114. So this will be a $40 minimum payment, and instead we're going to be able to pay $200. And so now our balance on this one, we can see from 633 went down to 433.42. And that's how you would use this tracker. Now you could pre-plan all your months in advance and say how much extra you're planning on having to put towards your debt and come back and erase or change it, okay? If you do a digital download, you'd have an unlimited amount of these sheets that you'd be able to download and use. And if it's after the first 3 days that I release this video, it'll be available for Etsy for purchase. And so you can download as many copies as you like and make as many of these as you need. I did include debts 1 through 6 on side 1 and debts 7 through 12 on side 2. And that's just so that if you have up to 12 debts, you can do this tracker. So you basically would start from the largest here and then continue on this side. And when you start doing your debt payments, you would start on this side first, doing the minimum, and then keep going with your minimum payments until you got to the lowest bill that you can throw all the extra towards. So that is a play-by-play explanation of the Easy Debt Snowball Tracker. I hope you guys are able to get your hands on one. Again, I will put the PDF down below in the description for the first 3 days, and you actually can go on there, download it, and use it as you wish. I think this tracker can help to make paying off your debt a little bit more visible and easy for you to see, especially if you're trying to tackle, to become debt free. You just would continue to make your payments until they're all taken care of, okay? And if it's after the first 3 days, head over to my Etsy store. If you want to get a laminated copy like this, I'll have it for a physical product, and it would come with front to back just like this one is. But if you don't want the physical product and you want to just download it yourself, the digital download will be made available as well. I wanted the real ones that's always here in my videos, always here commenting, always first on the scene, to be able to get a product that they can use for their debt freedom journey for free. And that's why I'm offering it for the first few days, is just as a way to say thank you. Hope I explained the Easy Debt Snowball Tracker. Let's go through a couple of questions just to make sure that we're all on the same page. The first question would be, are you paying your debts off any faster if you don't have any extra payments? And yes, even if you don't have any extra monthly payments and you only have the minimum snowball amount, eventually, if you kept your minimum snowball amount exactly the same, even when you pay off a debt, that extra minimum payment would roll over to the next bill, and that would help you to gain momentum. So you don't have to have any extra to apply towards your debts in order to do this. What if you have an extra payday involved and you want to tackle more debt? That's simple. You would just go ahead and create another line item for all the extra debts that you have and pay a minimum payment on everything if it's greater than your debt snowball. Or you can just throw all the extra debt onto the smallest debt possible in order to move your snowball along faster. And what if I have more than 12 debts? How would I handle this Easy Debt Snowball Tracker? In that case, you can either order or download 2 sets of this tracker and just assume this is tracker number 1 by simply placing the words across the top. And on your other tracker, you would put tracker number 2. And that way you'll know that these are debts 1 through 12 on tracker number 1 and debts 13, 14, 15, 16 on tracker number 2. And you can use both of these in that same way. How many months does this tracker actually hold? Well, that would be indefinite because even though there's only 9 months or 9 payments allotted in each one of the little boxes, and down the side for months, there's 9, there still will be an endless amount of opportunity for you to use this for years to come. And that's because this all can be wiped off with just a little bit of alcohol and a paper towel. And if you actually bought the download, then you can just download and reprint as many copies as you need for later use. All right, I think that is everything for today. I've answered a few questions on how to use the Easy Debt Snowball Tracker. I've told you guys how to get it, where it's available, and hopefully you get on it right away. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this video and you are a real one, put this one single emoji right here and let me know you made it to the end. If you have any further questions on how to use this tracker, please leave them down below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. And yeah, I just appreciate you guys for being here. Hopefully this will help some of you guys on your debt-free journey. I did have a lot of questions in my Facebook group about the snowball method, how to get started, how to pay off debts. Some people don't even know what the snowball method is. So it's just about how to pay off your debt even faster. Hopefully this explained everything for you. All right, don't forget, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I put out a video, because you never know when something free is going to be included and you want to be here to take advantage. Don't forget to hit the like button because it helps this video to be suggested out to others who might need this information, especially those that are interested in paying off their debts or getting a handle on it in the new year. Share this video with other people if you think that they are interested in getting a debt plan in order and they just need something to help them get on track, okay? Because that's where the Easy Debt Snowball Tracker is best for beginners. All right, I think that's everything for today. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. Check out some of my other content that I have here, and you guys take care. Bye-bye.